okay.
Well, when you're ready to release it, or when you're ready to release a new app, I read an article by Paul Hudson. He released an app called Kickstart. He put out a nice blog post kind of associated with how to price an app. In fact, that's what it's called. It's how to price an app, the coffee test, and it's judging gauging the value of your product, your app that you wrote against a cup of coffee, or how much are people willing to pay. And one of the things that my daughter, who's an artist, she does commission work, and she said that if she doesn't feel bad about what she's charging people, she knows she's not charging enough, which I think is a great statement.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
There's, I think in software, especially with iOS apps, that there's kind of a race to the bottom. In fact, I'm the epitome of that, because the app I just released, which we'll talk about in a moment, is completely free. So take none of my advice, but take Paul Hudson's advice, where you talk about, or you rate your app, price your app on, is it worth 1 cup of coffee a week? Is it worth 1 cup of coffee a month? And does that feel fair? And if it does, then, well, a cup of coffee at a latte or something at a coffee shop is going to set you back $5, $6, $7 in the US, especially if you add oat milk or one flavor. I mean, coffee has gotten to be very expensive. So the article, which we'll put in the show notes here, is very good. It's probably a 7 or 8 minute read. It talks about using pricing levers. There's something called charm pricing, which is the official term for $4.99 instead of $5, and it's an actual psychological effect. Bracketing pricing, which talks about using 3 useful option. It makes the middle price easier to choose. At MIT, they had 100 MBA students choose between 3 options: an internet-only subscription, a print-only subscription, and a print and internet subscription. And when they had 3 options, most chose the print and internet, which was the most expensive option. But when you remove the middle option, more people chose the cheaper option. And I'll let you read the article to look at it, but it is pretty interesting. So I'll stop there just to move on. But
interesting. I don't have a lot of data because I don't have a lot of users, but I know in my own apps, like if I have, let's say, a monthly and a yearly subscription, for example, or a weekly, monthly, and a yearly, or whatever, like almost all of them buy the yearly every time. I don't know if that means my yearly's too cheap or my other one's too expensive, but I can't get anybody to buy anything but the yearly all the time. That's what they want.
Yearly is good because you get fewer reminders, which is fewer opportunities or fewer reminders to cancel, perhaps, not to talk about dark patterns. But and then, in fact, it talks about that in this article by Paul Hudson, where your yearly price should be about 8 months worth of subscription fees. So that seems to be maybe the magic number. If I can't remember exactly the details of how he came up with that, but it does
you're
talk
saying
about
that you're like 8 months worth of your monthly fee if you did a monthly,
right?
Like that kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah. So you get a discount as buying yearly, plus you as the developer get that money up front, of course. So
yeah, and I always figured I kind of wanted the yearly, so I always feel like, well, okay, I can't make the weekly. If I have a weekly, I can't make it too cheap because otherwise it's just too cheap for a quick try and nothing. I'm not going to make it $1.06 or something, or 7 or 8 or even. But then the monthly, I've always thought, well, I kind of want to price that one so that people really want to buy the yearly.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's good or not, though. Is that a good goal? I don't even know.
Read the article. We'll move on. But
okay, I'll definitely take a look.